Hello, good morning, everyone. So let's have our daily briefing for today. And let's have a quick market recap on yesterday's data. Okay, so first things we have the retail sales for Germany, monthly basis for the month of October. So the previous data was negative 1.9%, and the market forecast 0.7%. And the release time yesterday, it's 3 p.m. So the actual data, it's negative 0.3%, so lower than the market forecast, and slightly lower compared to the previous data as well. Followed by the retail sales for Germany, yearly basis for the month of October. So the previous data is negative 0.9%, and the market forecast at negative 1.8%. And the actual data, it's negative 2.9%. So it's higher compared to the market forecast, but also with the previous data. So this one is not a good data for Germany's, to be specific, on the retail sales. Followed by the manufacturing PMI for UK for the month of November. So the previous data was 57.8, and the market forecast at 58.2. So the actual data, it's slightly lower comparing to the market forecast at 58.1. But however, this data did not create any volatility right after the release, to be specific, on the pound against the dollar. And also we have the ADP, employment change, or the private sector for the US for the month of November. So the previous data was 570K, and the market forecast at 580K. And the release time last night, it's 9:15 p.m. And the actual data, it's 534K. So it's actually lower compared to the forecasted in the previous one. But surprisingly, this data did not create any much volatility in some financial products. And followed by the manufacturing PMI data for US for the month of November. So the previous data was 58.4, and the market forecast at 59.1. And the actual data, it's lower at 58.3, so did not meet the market forecast and the previous data. And for today's economic data, we have during the Asian session, we have the trade balance for Australia for the month of October. So the previous data was 11.824 billion Australian dollars, and the market forecast at 11 billion Australian dollars. And the actual data, it's 11.22 billion US dollars. So it meets the market forecast, but it's lower compared to the previous data. So this one did not create any much volatility on the Aussie dollar, to be specific. So for the European session, okay, so later at 6 p.m., we have to focus on the unemployment rate for Eurozone for the month of October. So the previous data is 7.4%, and the market consensus at 7.3%. And for the US session, in my opinion, this will be the heavyweight data for today. So we have to focus on the initial jobs claims for US later at 9:30. So the previous data was 199K. Okay, but however, the market consensus is 240K. So which means that if the actual data is higher comparing to the market consensus, it means that it's negative for the US dollar, because the initial jobless claims is the number of American people who's filing for unemployment benefits. But what would be the main factor for this data for tonight is actually the first case of Omicron has been detected in the United States. So this will create some market uncertainties, which means that some safe haven products demand will be exist for this week. So that is why for our key product for today, we have gold. Okay. So as of this moment, during the Asian session, so the current price of gold is 1780.91 per ounce. So later, if the initial jobless claims for the US is higher compared to the market forecast, so it means that gold may rise sharply on a short-term basis, which means overall it's negative for the US dollar and bullish for gold. So that is why for today's range, I will be closely monitoring at 1793.73 per ounce and 1805.41 for the key resistance, and for the support we have the 1771.41 per ounce and 1760.55 per ounce, respectively. So once again, for the European session, we have to focus on the unemployment rate for the month of October. And US session, we have the weekly initial jobs claims later at 9:30 p.m. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining our daily briefing today. Stay safe and have a great day.